Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. And this is a paid request from James. Thank you so much for that. For those interested, requesting any type of videos, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, streams, commentaries, movie reviews of whatever the case, tier lists, commentaries, video game playthroughs for an hour, a full playthrough, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it. I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. For those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. Now, James, he sent this, but he also sent it expedited, which means he sent it, but then he said, hey, I would really like this up by the next day. And so he sent a good chunk more money. And I've never really had that happen before, but I thought that was very, very kind of him. I'm like, okay. And then I looked, it's a 30-second video. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine as well. So now I did not know what video it was. So I said yes, I got the money, and then I saw what the video was. I went, oh man. But I did say yes to it, so he wants me to react to it. I'm not going to show the footage, because as the title suggests, you do tell what this is. We'll get into it right now. I think he just wants to hear my thoughts, my feelings of that time period, that time in life, all that jazz. And we'll go from there. So, again, I'm not going to show the video, but it is on Jozin, Jozin, World Trade Center 9/11, first plane hidden tower. I am pause the beginning, press and play now. Now, apparently what was happening here was that there was a firefighter documentary being made, which was interesting. And then, lo and behold, he caught that, and it hit the first building. Humongous, horrific explosion. And I mean, I don't need to listen to it because I could hear it in my head. Even that bird's like, gotta get the fuck out of here. And it's just a horrific sight. It's a horrific sight. And I mean, the video's done already, so. But yeah, you see that, and you know what? I mean, I think it's okay to look at it because it's a piece of history. And never forget. I remember, well, it's not a tangent, it's still on this thing. I remember when there was a time afterward where they, being people in, I don't know if it's Hollywood, they wanted to go back into movies and take out the World Trade Center from those movies. And I thought that was the dumbest, egregious, stupid thing you could do. Thank God they did not do that. Because why would you want to forget that these buildings existed and forget, the people who were there, who I couldn't imagine what they could have gone through. Could not even imagine. You're in a building, you're doing your day, just getting by, and then all of a sudden this horrific thing happens. And then if you're trapped, if you're up above, what do? Because you can't get below. There are people that jumped because they didn't want to burn up. So that's the thing. Do you burn up and die slowly that way? Or do you, you know, you're not going to make it, but you're hoping it's going to be quicker. And I can't even imagine, never want to imagine that. And I guess that's why, I get mad at movies and stuff, but they're just movies, and when the camera's off, I'm very thankful I haven't yet, hopefully, knock on wood, experienced something like that. No one should. But yeah, when they wanted to take that out of movies, it was so stupid. And yeah, you watch movies like Daylight, Sylvester Stallone film. When you watch that film, Stallone and I always forget her damn name. She was on that Judge TV show. I forgot. Amy Brenneman. When they're being shifted away and you see the Twin Towers in the back. You play old games, hell, Die Hard trilogy, hell, Die Hard with a Vengeance. You watch Die Hard with a Vengeance, there's plenty of, well, there's a couple scenes where the Twin Towers are there. You play, what was it, James Bond, was it 007 Racing, and Die Hard trilogy, you play the Vengeance level, you see the trade centers, and yeah, you watch it and you get the hint of, but you don't want to forget it because it was a part of history. It is a part of New York, and they'll never rebuild them. I can understand why, but they shouldn't be swept away. They shouldn't be put under the rug. Because it happened, and I think that'd be a detriment to the people who passed away there to just forget about them. Now, I was in high school when this happened. I was actually in school because it was a school day. I remember the teacher stopping class and they prop in the TV, and it's a very small school. It was in Armstrong, Iowa. Very small school, meaning, God, I'd have to look up, like the whole graduation class, if it was 40 people, I don't even know if it was that much. I mean, it was still a very small school. And it's one of those towns where literally there's a gas station, there's one little mini mart, supermart, like you get some food there. There's the school, there's a park, there's houses, there's a factory on the outside of town, and you go past the town in like 30 seconds. Like, that's the area I lived in Iowa, grew up with. Very, very, very small time. And yeah, when you watched it on TV, it felt unreal. It felt unreal. It felt like a movie, and in the worst sense. Like, it was weird to fathom. And there's that bit of fear of wondering what's going to happen next. But I will say, I think this is because of where I lived. Where I lived felt like it was so in the middle of nowhere that I think I was able to escape that compared to other people. Because I can only speak for myself. When you live out in the country, and you can walk outside and you just stare in every direction, and all you see is farmland. That's all you see. And not even like farmland where people had chickens and cows. It was maybe corn, or you see a house in the distance. Neighbors didn't even have dogs, so it was like quiet. And you go outside at nighttime and you see the whole stars, and it was just very, very peaceful, like very quiet. And so you just felt like you were not in a wasteland, but just completely alone to the world. And at that point, my siblings had gone off to college and stuff, so it was just me and my mom. My mom was just busy with work, going back and forth. So, like, if there's times where she's at work, I'm just by myself in the house. And to be honest, when you live in the middle of nowhere, and you feel it was a weird kind of isolation that, in a way, was kind of nice. Because you're away from the world, so you didn't hear anything. You didn't, other than that, I didn't search for it on the news. Honestly, I just watched movies and played video games, because as selfish as it is that mindset of, there's nothing I could do about it. There's nothing I could do about it. There's nothing I could say about it. There's nothing I could do to help out or anything. And I guess it was that thing of I'm not going to be scared because that's a waste of time. As dumb as that sounds, and that was also like a year or two before, I was in a car crash in my sophomore year where I was with my brother and my cousin, and the car flipped and it was going this way, and all of a sudden it was this way in a ditch. And I had my eyeball cut, and then you survive that, and things get better. And it's just one of those things, you just get this mindset of not going to be steered because it takes too much time. Meaning, if I spend an hour being steered, I didn't accomplish anything in that hour. If I spend a day being steered, I'm not going to accomplish anything. I just wasted time I can't get back. And that may be stupid thinking, selfish thinking, whatever this type of thinking, but that also, it does help when you live so isolated. And then when you go to school, they didn't really talk about it, because you felt like you were in another world, another country, when you lived in that small town in the middle of America where nothing else happens. So New York, LA, Texas, they all felt so far away that I think everybody there could, other than that day and maybe the day maybe or two after, you just disassociate yourself. I think a lot of us in that town did. You disassociate because this weird way of it's them, not us, but not in a uncaring way, but just of a, that's very sad what happened. And then like you would hear you later on, people talk about movies and how this movie or that movie is going to be affected, or this song gets made, and that song gets made because to honor the people that passed away. Those would be the reminders. But yeah, it's one of those things where, I didn't watch the news. I didn't carry on with the news. I think, I'm sure some people did, but I did, as selfish as it is, I disassociated myself from it. And for me, it was a healthy thing to do, because I could still sit here and say it was awful and terrible and horrendous what happened. Do I think something like that will happen again? I think eventually, just because of statistics. It all comes down with statistics, meaning you're in a town and in a region, and eventually there may be a tornado, or eventually there may be a hurricane, or eventually there may be this and that and that and this. And you just got to take it day by day, because you can't predict everything. You can predict enough to carry about your daily life. You can predict of going to work, doing your job, getting groceries. Like, you can only control your life unless you're someone of that power. Of course, I mean, so like I said, my biggest memory is at school, them showing, that it happened. And then I think school kept going. I don't think they canceled school. I don't believe they did. I think like they saw a little bit, then they kept going, and you're thinking about it, and like, what the fuck? I don't think they did. Maybe they did, but I don't remember. And that's the thing. My memory of that era is hazy. Because I didn't really like school. I didn't really like my school years. So the less I think about the school years, the better. Because it wasn't really a great time for me in my headspace. So I don't remember it as efficiently as I'm sure other people do. but that's how I was able to escape with movies and with video games and escape the problems, and then you deal with it on a daily basis, and you're able to get through it. You're able to get through it. And it shows how important those tools are, which is probably why I get so damn over passionate about movies and other pieces of media, because of how important they are to a lot of people, whether they believe it or not. But it was a terrible time. That's to say it, that's putting it lightly. And yeah, I mean, I don't ever go back to watch the footage and stuff. This is actually the first time I saw this in years and years and years. And even then, just watch it, just put like a brick in the water. It just fell right into my guts seeing that. And yeah, I don't even know what else to say. And the George W. Bush, went in and all this stuff, and did anything really get done at the end of the day? No. So I mean, it was useless and pointless and unneeded. It didn't do anything. It didn't accomplish anything, except that loss of life. And I mean, plenty of cities and plenty of countries have had their own versions of this. I guarantee you, if you live in the UK, what was it, the bus incident that, some guy like ran over a bunch of people, and that was a big event. All the fires of LA, where most of California burned down. That's a horrendous event. Now, granted, different circumstances, but still horrific all the same. And it does make you appreciate what you have and to live life each day accordingly. Because for all I know, I could go out and a damn bee hits me in the nose and goes up in my brain and said, "Good night, kiddo. Goodbye." You never know. I mean, I'm sure stranger things have happened in the world of yesteryear and today, so you never know. But yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, the towers, the people that passed in there, they should never be forgotten. And that's why when I got the request, I went, but I'm like, you know what? That's fine, because they deserve to be remembered and they deserve to be not forgotten. And that's not to say you have to remember it every day, every week, every month, or even every year. But once in a while, something like this, to give the hopes and prayers to the people's family who suffered loss that day, the city of New York that went through the ringer that day. And, New York is still here, still going day to day on their lives. And New York is still pumping and grinding. And the people in New York are still pumping and grinding away. So, and that was the nice thing, is that you did see that shred of humanity where you did see a lot of people helping their neighbor out. Granted, it'd be nice if we could carry that indefinitely, but that's being naive. Hopeful, but naive. But at least for a short amount of time, there were people that just were helping their neighbor out. And that was That was probably the only nice thing to see with that. And that's why like I don't go out my way to watch movies based on it. Like United 93 I never saw. World Trade Center I saw once and I didn't think anything of it. Charlie Sheen did some awful one called 9/11. Cheap ass bullshit. I just had to tell this story because it takes me back. There was a bit where my friend John the Zero Cool, if he ever sees this video, he'll remember this. And maybe a few of my other friends. There was this guy, this is like, God, this might have been 10 years ago, maybe more. There was some guy that was going to make some, this is what he said, a 9/11 movie with zombies. Well, I'm going to make this movie, it'll take place on 9/11, and then the victims become zombies, and it becomes a zombie horror film. And so when I heard that, I think it was on my old account. That's how long ago. So this was, I think, even, God, this might have been 2009 I did this, or something like that. And I did a video, because it was, I think it was on my old account. And I'm like, this is the dumbest idea ever. This is the dumbest idea ever. This is a stupid fucking idea. Whoever makes this idea is a fucking moron. You don't make a 9/11 movie with zombies? You're a dumb fuck. Whoever bred you is a dumb fuck. Get the fuck out of my face, Scooter. You're dumb as shit. Don't breed. Don't leave your chromosomes out in the air for me to infect it by. Get the fuck out of here with your nonsense. This is fucking stupid. So I went on a diatribe in a video, and then this guy's like, I'm gonna go, and I'm like, what you gonna do? You ain't gonna do anything. And then the guy like went after like friends of mine, and they're like, "What you don't?" And he didn't do anything. And then lo and behold, he didn't get the movie made. I wonder why. Because other people with brains said that's a stupid fucking idea. You want to make a movie for shock value, and the shock value will hopefully get you attention. Oh my God, they made that movie, and then get you attention and get you maybe some sum of money. And even some people had a brain and a conscience and said, "No, fuck that shit. That's stupid." So you never got your movie made, so fuck you. How about them apples? All the apples in the world, fuckface. Not Jay, but the guy who, that stupid fucking idiot back in the day. He's a dumb fuck. But yeah. So now, anytime I think of 9/11, I think of that fucking idiot. So maybe that was for the better. And the fact that now I have this funny, stupid story I could think of to leave you a video with a little smile that hopefully other people will laugh at that story too. Because I thought it was pretty funny just how much of a fucking moron that guy was. That he disappeared into thin air. I wonder why. So, there you go. Thanks for watching. Take care. Thanks to James for the expediated request. I haven't gotten one of those before, but that's cool. Thank you, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.